Hi, I'm Admiral Brad Cooper, Commander of U.S. Central Command, here for my fourth update on Operation Epic Fury. On day 22 of combat operations, U.S. forces continue to take bold action and remain on plan to eliminate Iran's ability to project meaningful power outside its borders. Just 2 days ago, the U.S. Army launched the longest field artillery strike in Army combat history using precision strike missiles. The strike took out Iranian military infrastructure, demonstrating the U.S. military's unmatched reach and lethality. Iran has lost significant combat capability over the last 3 weeks. We are taking out thousands of Iranian missiles, advanced attack drones, and all of Iran's navy, which they use to harass international shipping. Their navy is not sailing, their tactical fighters are not flying, and they've lost the ability to launch missiles and drones at the high rates seen at the beginning of the conflict. Our progress is obvious. U.S. forces maintain air superiority over Iran's skies, having now flown over 8,000 combat flights. Our air crews are performing exceptionally across the fight, from tankers to fighters and bombers, to land-based and carrier-based aviation doing a superb job. Tankers are extending our reach so that we can keep constant pressure on the enemy. Fighters and bombers are delivering precision strikes against our primary objectives, and our pilots across the board are dynamically hunting threats as well, finding and eliminating targets in real time. So far, we've struck over 8,000 military targets, including 130 Iranian vessels, constituting the largest elimination of a navy over a 3-week period since World War II. My operational assessment continues to be Iran's combat capability is on a steady decline as our offensive strikes ramp up. While U.S. forces continue to sustain overwhelming offensive firepower, I want to recognize our air defenders mounting a coordinated defense against Iran's attacks. We have built the most extensive air defense umbrella in the world over the Middle East right now. This is thanks to years of investment alongside our allies and partners to build a robust and integrated air and missile defense architecture. For more than a decade, books have been written about the concept of a Middle East air defense. Today it's alive and well. Our Gulf partners in particular have defended against thousands of Iranian drone attacks, a clear demonstration of the strength of our partnerships as we work shoulder to shoulder. We also remain zeroed in on dismantling Iran's decades-old threat to the free flow of commerce throughout the Strait of Hormuz. For example, earlier this week we dropped multiple 5,000-pound bombs on an underground facility located along Iran's coastline. The Iranian regime used the hardened underground facility to discreetly store anti-ship cruise missiles, mobile missile launchers, and other equipment that presented a dangerous risk to international shipping. We not only took out the facility but also destroyed intelligence support sites and missile radar relays that were used to monitor ship movements. Iran's ability to threaten freedom of navigation in and around the Strait of Hormuz is degraded as a result, and we will not stop pursuing these targets. At the beginning of this campaign, I sent a letter to the more than 50,000 American servicemen and women supporting Operation Epic Fury. For our forces serving in the Middle East, I'd like to reiterate 3 key points. Number 1, be relentlessly lethal. We have the momentum. Number 2, be a great teammate. Continue to take care of one another. And number 3, steady your resolve. For we stand on the shoulders of giants, American heroes who have served with tenacity, grit, and honor. Fall back on your training. It is the best in the world. I just couldn't be prouder of our warfighters, and I know that the American people share in that same pride. Thanks so much, Godspeed. Let's keep rolling with the full picture because what happened in those bunkers is just one piece of a much bigger fight. Operation Epic Fury kicked off a few weeks back when Iran started launching attacks on 12 different countries after losing key sites in earlier strikes. The U.S. and allies said we can't let this keep going, and they hit back hard and smart. Admiral Cooper has been updating everyone regularly, and his latest briefing shows the results are stacking up like never before. In just 3 weeks, U.S. forces have struck over 8,000 military targets inside Iran. That includes missile plants, drone bases, command centers, and yes, the entire Iranian Navy. 130 vessels gone, the biggest loss of any navy in any 3-week period since World War II. Think about that for a second. Whole classes of warships wiped out. They're not sailing anymore. They're not harassing tankers in the Gulf. That alone changes the game for every ship that needs to pass through. The Admiral explained it clearly. Iran lost the ability to project power outside its own borders. Their combat strength is dropping every day while U.S. firepower keeps ramping up. We have air superiority over the skies now. 8,000 combat flights and counting. Fighters, bombers, tankers, all working together like a well-oiled machine. Pilots are finding targets in real time and taking them out on the spot. The longest artillery strike in Army history just happened 2 days ago, hitting deep Iranian infrastructure with pinpoint accuracy. You see the night footage, missiles streaking across the dark sky, hitting exactly where they need to. Satellite pictures show factories and bases turned to rubble. One image of a surface-to-surface missile plant in Karaj after the hit. Buildings flattened, no more production. That's the kind of pressure that stops threats before they start. And it's not just bombs from the air. The Navy and Army are in the mix too, coordinating perfectly. The Admiral praised the air defenders who built the strongest shield the Middle East has ever seen. Years of work with Gulf partners paid off big. They stopped thousands of Iranian drones cold. No panic, just steady defense. That teamwork is saving lives and keeping the fight focused. Every update from Admiral Cooper shows the same message. We are on plan, momentum is ours, and we are not slowing down. He said Iran's combat power is in steady decline as our strikes increase. Their missiles, drones, and ships are being taken out faster than they can replace them. Fighters grounded, Navy at the bottom, launchability gone. This is the largest package of strikes in recent history, and it's working. Defense Secretary and others back in Washington are calling it decisive. Over 7,000 targets hit in some counts, and the number keeps climbing. The operation started in late February when the order came straight from the top to dismantle the threats that have been building for decades. Iran had been rebuilding dangerous programs, and the response was clear. Stop it now. U.S. and Israeli forces moved together at first. Then the full campaign rolled out. Bombers flying from far away, carriers in the Gulf, ground teams supporting. It's a total effort. The Admiral reminded everyone in his letter to the troops, be lethal, be a team, stay strong. Those words are keeping morale high out there. You can hear the pride in his voice when he talks about the men and women serving. He called them war fighters doing an incredible job, and the results speak for themselves. Air crews performing at the highest level, tankers extending the reach so bombers can hit deep inside Iran, even around big cities. Precision is everything, hitting only the threats, not civilians. That's why the world is watching closely. No one wants a wider war, but the U.S. is making sure Iran can't threaten neighbors or global trade anymore. The Strait of Hormuz is the perfect example. Iran spent years building those coastal bunkers to control it. Hidden storage for anti-ship weapons, mobile launchers ready to fire, radars tracking every tanker. One push of a button and the world's oil lifeline stops. But Admiral Cooper said earlier this week we dropped those 5,000-pound penetrators right into the hardened sites. Not only the weapons, but the support gear too. Intelligence centers and radar relays gone. Iran's eyes on the water are blind now. Ships can move without that shadow hanging over them. This is huge for global commerce. Only 90 tankers had passed through in the early days of the fighting because of the fear. Now the number is rising again. Lloyd's List and shipping experts are already noting the change. Oil markets felt the relief too. Prices steadied after that 3.5% spike on blockade worries. The Admiral made it personal at the end of the briefing. He looked right into the camera and said he couldn't be prouder of the team. He ended with Godspeed, a simple wish for safety and success. That kind of message sticks with people. It shows real care for the troops while delivering the hard facts. Operation Epic Fury is different from past fights because the goals are clear and the execution is relentless. Dismantle the security apparatus, stop the power projection, secure the vital sea lanes. And it's working. Iran's ability to threaten Americans and allies is shrinking fast. The campaign has entered a critical phase and every new strike builds on the last. From nuclear-related sites early on to these coastal bunkers now, the pressure never lets up. The visuals in the briefing drive it home. Satellite before and after shots, missile trails at night, bombers lined up on runways ready to go. You see the map with the strait highlighted and you understand exactly why this matters. This isn't some faraway story. It touches gas prices, grocery bills, and jobs everywhere. The U.S. is making sure the lifeline stays open. And the best part? The Admiral said we will not stop pursuing these targets. The fight continues until the job is done. That steady voice and clear plan give confidence to everyone watching. Now that you know the scale of what's already happened, let's talk about what it really means for all of us going forward. The impact on oil, shipping, and daily life is massive, and I'm laying it out plain and simple next. Step 3. All right, here's where it all comes together for you and me. Why this bunker strike and the whole Operation Epic Fury actually matter in your everyday life. The Strait of Hormuz isn't just a line on a map, it's the narrow throat that moves 20% of global oil. 20%. That means if it closes even for a short time, everything gets more expensive fast. Think higher gas prices at the station, bigger costs for trucking food and goods, and stores raising prices on everything. Families feel it first. Businesses slow down. Whole economies shake. Iran knew this power and built those underground bunkers to use it like a weapon, hidden right on the coast, stocked with anti-ship cruise missiles and mobile launchers, plus radars to spot targets. Their plan was simple: fire when ready and shut the strait down. The world would pay the price while they made their point, but Admiral Cooper just told us the U.S. ended that threat this week.